Good morning children. So today we are going to continue our first chapter, and the topic that we will study here is the founding fathers of modern chemistry. That means who all are the famous people who have started the modern chemistry that we are studying now. Okay. So the first person that we are going, or the first scientist that we are going to study is Robert Boyle. Okay. What is the full name of Robert Boyle? Robert William Boyle. Okay. So from this topic onwards, don't want to by heart their date of birth, year of birth, place of birth, their life pattern. Don't want to study that all things. Only we have to remember about what they have done in modern chemistry. Only that much we have to remember. And the thing you have to keep in mind is you have to by heart the name of all the scientists that we will study in this chapter, because in exam it will ask name the founding fathers of modern chemistry. If it is asking like that, means you have to write the name of all the scientists that we will study. Okay, so the first scientist is Robert Boyle. His full name is Robert William Boyle. Who is he? He was born to a noble family on 25th January 1627 in Ireland. So where he is born? He is born in Ireland at 25th January 1627. Don't want to by heart this place or year or month or anything. Okay. At the age of 8, he was sent to Eton College. Okay, where he went? He went to boarding school in England, and where he studied for 6 years. When he was 14, so at the age of 14, he set out on a long journey with a tutor. So with one of his teacher, he went to study in detail about so many things. After spending about 4 years touring and studying in different parts of Europe, he returned back to England. So what he have done? He went with one of his teacher to visit everywhere in Europe. Okay, to study many things and to visit the different places in Europe and their culture, tradition, etc. After 4 years of his journey, what he had done? He have returned back to his England. Later, so this is Robert Boyle. Okay, this is Robert Boyle. And after coming back from England, what he had done? Thereafter, he devoted his life to scientific research. So later what he have done? He have continuously spent his life on so many studies on many substances, scientific research. He soon became an important member of the Invisible College. So one college is there. One member, he became a member of that college. In fact, this was not a college but a society of those who pursued the new philosophy of science. So actually that one is not a college. What it is? It is a society. It is a group of people who is completely studying about science. Okay, so it was the Invisible College which was made the Royal Society by the King in 1663. So that the college who has started that college and all, it is given. No need to read that all. So then later in Oxford University, he was in Oxford for a few years doing research. So in Oxford he went for some research. Later what happened? But with his when his health started failing, he came to London and lived with his elder sister. So he had some health problems. Later he came back to London and stayed with his sister. And he refrained from public engagements and spent his time doing research. So when he came back to his sister's home, he didn't went outside to enjoy his life with his friends or relatives and all. What he have done instead? He have started a lab inside his house itself, and he have made so many studies. And later Boyle carried out his research in various subjects like physics, chemistry, oceanography, gemology, blood science and so on. And he have made studies on many science related subjects. And he was the first scientist to have prepared a substance similar than water, which was later established to be hydrogen. So what he have done? He have prepared a substance. So at the time of alchemy, they told that only 4 substances are similar. In that one similar substance was water. Similar means a simple, smaller thing. Okay. Later he studied and he found that there is a substance which is similar than water also. Okay. So he proved that there is a substance which is similar than water. And what he have done? He invented that substance. Which is that substance? It is hydrogen. So who invented or who prepared hydrogen? Robert Boyle prepared. But who named it? Who studied in detail about hydrogen? Who named it? Lavoisier. That last class I have explained it. So he rejected Aristotle's theory on the 4th century AD that water is an element. So Aristotle is an alchemist. Okay. Aristotle is an alchemist, and he told that water is an element. Okay. So when Robert Boyle discovered hydrogen, which is similar than water, he told that Aristotle's theory is fake. Okay. Thus modern chemistry can be said to have begun with him. So from whom modern chemistry is started? From Robert Boyle, modern chemistry is started by the preparation of hydrogen. Okay. So next we are going to study the remaining. He studied the behavior of gases. Okay. What all are the properties of gases? How a gases should be, how all the gases should exist in nature. He studied the properties of gases, and he discovered that at a fixed temperature, the volume of the gas, what will happen to the volume of a gas? What will happen to the total volume, the quantity of a gas at a particular temperature? The volume will decrease with the increasing pressure. That means if we are giving pressure on that gas, any gas, let it be air or water vapor, anything, if we are compressing that air or that gas, its volume will decrease. If this much volume, if I have taken a box, okay, or if I have taken a balloon containing filled with air, and if I am compressing on it, what will happen? It will get pressed, or its pressure will increases. As a result, the balloon size will become small. That means its volume decreases. So the volume of the gas will decrease when the pressure increases. So these are the studies that who told Robert Boyle have done. And another one is the volume of the gas will increase with the pressure. If it is decreasing with the pressure, means it will increase with the, if the pressure decreases, volume increases. If the pressure increases, volume decreases. Okay. So that is called Boyle's law. We will study in detail in 9th standard onwards. Okay. Now you don't want to study in by heart Boyle's law and all. Okay. Then he authored more than 20 books on different aspects of science, including one titled The Spectacle Chemist. Okay. The Spectacle Chemist, meaning the doubtful chemist. Okay. The people, so like that one book he have written. Not one book, more than 20 books he have written. And later he died on 1691, 31st December. Okay. On that day he died. So what all things Robert Boyle have done? He invented hydrogen. He prepared hydrogen gas, and later he prepared a law called Boyle's law, according to the volume and pressure. When pressure increases, volume decreases. When pressure decreases, volume increases. That was the theory made by Robert Boyle. Okay. So this much only about Robert Boyle. And the next topic we are going to study is Lavoisier. Lavoisier name we have studied yesterday also. Who discovered or who identified hydrogen gas, or who identified oxygen gas, that is Lavoisier. Okay. Anthony Laurent de Lavoisier was born to a wealthy noble family in Paris on 26th August 1743. Okay. So Lavoisier was born in 1743. Then Lavoisier studied at the University of Paris and graduated when he was 20. So when he completed his studies at the age of 20, he finished his degrees, and he had special interest in chemistry, botany, astronomy and mathematics. So he had some so you have also some interest in your some subjects, like some of them will be liking maths, some of them will be liking English, like that. So he have more interest in chemistry, botany, astronomy and mathematics. Then he joined on a tax collecting company on contract with the royal government. So at that time the king, during the king's time, he was working in a company, and the company collected taxes on goods transported to and from Paris. So that about his job it is given, don't want to study that all things. Then Lavoisier pursued scientific research only in his spare time. So when he liked chemistry and science related subjects including mathematics, and he was working in a company only. Okay, later when he will be free, during his leisure time, he started to work on scientific matters. So this is Lavoisier, is a painting. Then his most fundamental contribution to chemistry was that he changed the nature of the subjects from qualitative to quantitative. That means he changed that means a group of things to a simpler things, like that he classified. That means bigger things to smaller things he have classified. Suppose one observe that hydrogen react with oxygen to form water. So okay, if one identified, one example is giving, this observation is only qualitative in nature. Okay, one will have to take out into account the quantities of hydrogen and oxygen and water before making an extract of statement. So if you are telling that you have prepared some food, okay, that is a qualitative measurement. But if a person is telling, if I have made a cup of any food item containing this much quantity of rice, this much quantity of subjis, like that, a quantity, the amount it is mentioned there, that is quantitative. That means similar ways a substance is measured, that is quantitative. Qualitative means direct given without any measurement or anything in a large quantity, that is qualitative. Okay, so what he have done, he have converted qualitative study to, or qualitative science to quantitative science. Okay, that was the first benefit of Lavoisier's theory or Lavoisier's hand in chemistry. Okay, so Lavoisier proved that by weight, 1 part of hydrogen react with 8 part of oxygen to form water. Okay, 9 part of water. That all things you don't want to remember in 6th standard. These all are 8th standard topic. Only some introduction is given. Okay, in exercise also it is not there. Okay, so later I am just going to the next topic from here. Nothing is there to keep in mind. And here you have to listen. Lavoisier made other contributions too, as outlined below. So what was his first contribution? That is qualitative study to quantitative study, or qualitative science to quantitative science. And now next contribution is he identified hydrogen and oxygen. Okay, so hydrogen gas was prepared by Robert Boyle, but he didn't give the name or properties of hydrogen. Who identified that? Lavoisier identified that. Same way same way Priestley prepared oxygen, but it was identified by Lavoisier only. The next one is he proved that a substance burn only in the presence of oxygen. Right now, anything if we have to burn means we have to supply oxygen to it. In the presence of air only a substance will burn. Then he suggested that metric system of weight and measures, that means like a kilogram, gram, like that one values are there for measurement, that all he have suggested. And he established that sulfur is an element and not a compound. And who told sulfur is an element? Before, at the earlier time, people believed that sulfur is a group of atoms. Okay, but he told that it is not a group of atom, it is a single atom only called a sulfur element. Okay, then he predicted the existence of silicon. He told that there is an element having this much properties, and it will be found here or there, like that. and he told it will be existing in some some soil and all, its percentage is very high, like that he predicted. Okay, then he suggested a better system of naming elements and compounds. So he told that we can name the elements by giving the first letter of their symbol, like that. Some property, some predictions he have given. Okay, then this much is enough about Lavoisier. And the next one is John Dalton. Okay, John Dalton was born on 6th September 1766 in England. So, he is born in England. He got his primary education at a rural school. His parents were too poor to support him in any further. So, at the age of 12, he took up a teaching job in a school. So, okay, at the age of 12, he started as a teacher. Okay, that means yours age. Okay, he became a teacher at the age of 12. Later, he became a teacher in a college at Manchester, and his academic field of interest was varied. So, he likes so many subjects, including literature, mathematics, meteorology, or chemistry, etc. Then in 1800, he left his job at the college and became the secretary of Literary and Philosophical Society of Manchester. In 1817, he was elected the president of the society. He also became a fellow of the Royal Society. So, his achievements are given here. At all, in chemistry, we don't want to study in detail. Okay, he got interested in meteorology and maintained the weather record for many years. Okay, about weather forecasting, temperature forecasting, that all he have studied. At that time, there was no aeroplanes or weather balloons. So, he climbed hills to make his observation at different heights. So, at that time, for measuring the temperature or for measuring the atmospheric condition, there was no techniques. So, how he measured that atmosphere temperature? He directly went over the top of the hills and he measured the temperature. At the age of 27, he published a book entitled Meteorological Observations and Essays. One book it is. Okay, Dalton laid the foundation of modern science by advancing his atomic theory in 1803. So, he started some studies about many atoms. Atoms we have studied yesterday, right? So, on that studies, he made a theory, some written statements mentioned here. Elements are made up of small particles called atoms. So, who discovered the atomic theory, modern atomic theory? John Dalton. Don't forget this. Modern atomic theory was invented by John Dalton. Okay. First point is all elements are made up of atoms. Then next, atoms are indivisible. We cannot divide atoms. We cannot create atom. We cannot destroy atoms. Atoms can neither be created nor be destroyed. Okay, then atoms will combine with themselves to form a compound. Okay, like water, hydrogen atom, oxygen atom combine together to form water. So, atoms rearrange themselves in a chemical reaction. So, during a reaction, they will form another new products. Okay, he also gave a law of chemical combination. What is the name of that law? The law of multiple proportion. So, the modern atomic theory, law of multiple proportion, who invented these two? John Dalton. Okay. Dalton studied the composition and pressure of gases in mixtures and gave a law called Dalton's law of partial pressure. Okay, these laws, just in name you have to remember. In detail we don't want to study anything from these topics. Okay, so about Dalton, here it is completed. So only you have to remember Dalton's theory. Dalton's theory you have to remember. Who invented modern atomic theory? Dalton. Okay, so this much only for today. All of you read your textbook, this much up to John Dalton. All of you read your textbook in detailed. Okay, each and every line all of you should read. Okay, don't want to by heart the year or date of birth, etc. Okay, only about chemistry, only about the substances what they have invented, that only you have to study. Okay, so read your textbook. Tomorrow we will continue the remaining topics. Okay, thank you all of you.